Welcome, everybody. I'm Lori Andrews coming to you tonight from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's my pleasure to help co-host, and I want to bring on our first speaker and host for the evening, Mr. Al Karanen from Bend, Oregon. Al comes to us with 17 years with Univera, and he came on as a compensation consultant originally. He has been with this company ever since. Married to his wife, Jan, for 40 years plus. And he is a teacher and coach by background. He is the top income earner in our company. He has won every servant leadership award, and he's here tonight to mentor all of us and help lead us through this process of looking at a virtual business invitational. So Al, Karen, and I'm going to turn it over to you. Welcome, everybody.
Well, great. Thank you, Lori, and welcome everyone. And tonight we're doing this virtual business invitational. And our job tonight is to explain what Univera has for you if you're looking for a business that you'd like to join. And so we've got a lot of things in store for you, but I think we're going to check all the boxes for you. We've obviously shifted from a very high-touch kind of business to a high-tech kind of business. We're going virtual with virtually everything that we do. And one of the key things here is that we have a great history of our company. We have a company that's just as rock solid as you could possibly imagine. And to lead it off as our founding associate, Harris Williams. And Harris and I go back a long time. I've been with the company 17 and a half years. He's been out there for almost 21 years, I guess it is. And my favorite claim to fame with Harris is we're both recreational specialists. And one day behind my boat on the Willamette River in Portland, Oregon, I didn't know how to pull back then a boarder, and so I figured you just sit the same as a skier. So I had him going about 70 miles an hour, got a concussion, and I know that you've loved me ever since, Harris. But Harris, it's an honor for me to introduce you. You are basically, without you, none of us would be here. So bottom line, we're pleased to have you here. Maybe you can share a little bit why having a company that has a solid background is so important if you make a decision to be in business with us. So take it away if you want.
All right, Al, thank you very much. And it's interesting you have me talking about the history after that concussion I had going 90 miles an hour on the wakeboard. But anyway, it all started for me, like a lot of you, I was invited to look at a business opportunity. And maybe some of you have been through this experience where, you got caught up in somebody else's story or somebody else's, without really checking out the company, you just bought into it. And I probably, like yourself, I was guilty of that. I've tried a number of companies. My background was as a recreational specialist. I was a tennis pro, a triathlete. I was a fishing guide, boat captain. And honestly, when I found this profession 40 years ago, I didn't really understand what to look for. And I congratulate all of you for really taking time to do your due diligence. I think that's so important. And really, it comes down to this, Al. I got to the point where after taking out many millionaires boating and fishing and on trips offshore, they would always say the same thing. I wish I'd have taken care of my health. I wish I would have been with my family more. I wish I would have had the freedom to really spend more time with the people I loved and my friends. And honestly, that experience made me want to find the perfect business. And the perfect business for me is a balance of health, wealth, and purpose. And I think we all would agree. This whole new normal that we're experiencing, people are looking now to be healthier. They know that's the most powerful way to take care of their own health. It's the best in health insurance you can have. Certainly wealth, having a plan A and a plan B and maybe a plan C in some cases is more important today. We know what's happening with the gig economy, but I want to talk about the history just for a minute and how important it is, because the history really, to me, is what really shares with all of us where we've been. And, and Univera's got such a rich history, and it's really about the values, the culture, and the mission that attracted me to looking at Univera 21 years ago. And it started really with legacy leadership. Think about it. I have finally figured this out after choosing the wrong company. Look at the people you're getting in business with. And when I heard about Young Ho Lee, one of the wealthiest men in South Korea, who had a health issue. He ended up kind of getting his affairs in order thanks to some of his workers who were in the aloe, actually had aloe growing. He started doing just aloe. The aloe miraculously extended his life. He decided to literally put all of his resources, all of his wealth to bringing the best of nature to humankind. I mean, think about that. One of the wealthiest people decides, hey, health is it. Without it, nothing else matters. And his son really took the baton and literally started Univera with myself and a number of other people back 21 years ago. And what attracted me to everything that I was looking for was a rich legacy, people who really cared about others. They realized that this is a very powerful vehicle where we can make changes by sharing an opportunity, sharing an amazing product. The fact that the products were science-based, which you'll hear about, and that we are looking at the underlying cause of aging, and the fact that there was all sorts of double-blind human-controlled studies, and that we had the largest privately owned municipal plant library on the planet at the time, that made me really look at this company and go, wow, this is real. This is a company that's going to be here and create a legacy, not only for myself, but my children and their grandchildren. And, you know, it's amazing how I look back over the last 21 years, Al, and, you know, and history really is a great reminder. We've evolved. I think for a lot of you that are listening tonight and going, is this the right vehicle, the right culture, community for me? I'm here to share with you what I love about this company is that it truly is about enhancing vibrant health. It's truly about giving each and every one of you a plan A or B, whatever you're looking for from a wealth situation, ultimately freedom. And I think purpose is so important. You're going to hear about an amazing cause where we've now nourished about 4.5 million children all over the planet. And you're going to hear about a level 5 CEO that Bill Lee attracted, who to me is all about servant leadership. And I think that for a lot of you out there, what other validation can I give you? Well, when I looked at this company, I was following Paul Zane Pilsner, who actually wrote Unlimited Wealth. I was following Jim Collins, who wrote Built to Last. He went on to write, the company, I think a program that I thought was really amazing, which was all about, looking for that right company. How do you go from good to great? And then Paul Zane Pilsner came back and wrote The Wellness Revolution and Next Millionaires. And after I read those and I found Univera, I went, wow, this is what they're all saying you should be looking for if you truly want to be in this new normal. Now, this is 21 years ago, Al, but listen to me now. Based on what's happened over the last couple of months, this is now what I call, it's become validated. It's self-fulfilling prophecy. We have everything that you need. And the thing I didn't mention, which you're going to hear from tonight, is you're going to hear from mentors, people, leaders in the field, leaders in our corporate infrastructure that are there to help you every step of the way. Yes, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We have platforms, we have community building, we have causes, we've got mentoring, we have business schools, and we're there to help you get what you want. More health, more wealth, more purpose, more freedom. And I'm dedicated to that. I know you are too, Al. And I'm very excited to be part of this team and company and certainly family.
Well, thank you, Harris. Great job. Appreciate your mentorship and your leadership. And we're going to move over to our CEO and president, Dr. Ralph Beats. On the next screen, when you see all the stuff that he's done, I don't have time to say all the accolades, but I'm going to tell you about probably a more personal one, and that is just this. Ralph is gut tough. There's times when things come his way in terms of managing and running a company. And I'll tell you something, I love the fact that he steps up and he does the right thing. And he's a man worthy of following. And so Dr. Ralph Beats, take her away if you would.
Al, thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be with you here. And what I want to mention is this company truly is special. I've run companies all over the world. I've done consulting projects all over the world. And honestly, I can be anywhere I want. And the reason that I'm here is because we've got some significant competitive advantages. You see them on the screen right there, but our resources are global agricultural resources, the aloe farms in China, in Mexico, in Texas, fully integrated in a much bigger system called the EcoNet. Bill Lee spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on scientific research on developing this agricultural network that supports our company. And it supports it with premium aloe that's like nobody else's. And a lot of us have been to the aloe fields. you know, one of the things that's so real about this company that I actually love is we've been to the farms, we've gone on missions with our leaders to some of the farms, and we see it, we touch it, we know it's there. And again, our laboratories, a lot of you have toured the laboratories, our leaders, you can ask our other leaders about it. But again, they're very, very real, and there's very deep science from the beginning that set the foundation for this company's future. But it's also created a line of products that changes people's lives. This line of products that you can share with your family, that you use for your health, you can feel proud of. It's not just manufacturing something. This is creating products from scratch, from the beginning, with healthy ingredients that create incredibly healthy commercialized products that delivered to people's doorsteps change lives. One of the things that we hear so many great things about, and that I feel so good about, because again, I've seen other companies or consultative companies where they don't use their own products. All of our leaders, all of our corporate people, again, all of us use these products. I've got them on my desk right here. I've got about 12 of our different products on the desk that are staples for me. But all of us have vested in these products that change lives. How many companies can say that? How many companies have the science behind it to say that? And we even publish it on our website. You go to a product, you look under resources, and you're going to see right there published papers, studies. Again, you're going to see patents. You're going to see approvals from FDA, Health Canada that exceed the requirements that we need to go to market and sell our products. So life-changing products is truly a backbone of this company. Across the planet, again, we're backed up by our headquarters in Seoul, which again is Mr. Lee's parent company like that. We've been in business for 13 years and 21 years. Actually, I've been here 13 years. We've actually been in business with this company 21 years. And that's unparalleled in this industry. Very, very few companies have that, and also the credibility and that longevity that we have. And then finally, a couple other key points is we have a great community. You will not be alone at Univera. You have got, again, a great community of leaders. You've got a great community of corporate folks. We all work together for one cause, and that's your success. So, and that's so important. How many times do you see somebody go with a company and as soon as they sign up, everybody's gone? They're abandoned. That doesn't happen here. We've got incredible, strong community. And a big portion of that community is also based on Univera Serve First. And that's something that go to servefirst.org. You can learn some more about. But as Harris mentioned earlier, we've provided over 4 million servings of meals and vitamins to children and families in great need. And a lot of us have been on mission. Myself, I've been on mission to Mexico, Honduras, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua with our leaders. We go into the field and we stand behind what we say. So it's an amazing community. They are products that all of us personally use. They are life-changing. You can put your hand over your heart and give them to your best friend, give them to your kids, give them to other folks that you think might need them. And they truly do make a difference in lives. And at the end of the day, that's what we stand for. We do make a difference in lives, and it's something we're greatly proud of. Al, back to you. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate you coming on. And if you're looking for a CEO and a president that you can trust Dr. Ralph Beets. He's been exceptional, and I do mean exceptional. And it's just a pleasure working with you, Ralph. Thanks so much for coming on. We're going to switch over to the science portion of it. Dr. Mike Kaufman, I'll never forget, I met him at basically like a virtual business invitational, except we were doing them live back then. And Mike came into the room and he had been a little bit of a skeptic, but I'll tell you something, he checked it out. He has one of the largest practices in the Northwest, if not the largest. And he's an exceptional leader. He's an exceptional human being. And so Dr. Mike Kaufman, welcome to our call tonight.
Well, thanks, Al, and I appreciate that. And it was really great to hear Ralph. I just love being around Ralph. He's the true servant leader, and he's a brilliant man. And of course, being involved in Univera has been such an important part of my life. And meeting you, I remember that day I met you, and I remember looking at everybody eye to eyeball and say, "Is this for real? Are they just blowing smoke?" And I say that with not being lightly about that, because as a chiropractor for 35 years, at every convention we have products lined up in the hallways, people trying to sell you their story. And with most companies, especially, you know, in this industry, a lot of companies start out with a story to sell a product, and then they find a product to back up the story. So ours is the opposite. Bill Lee started with a product experience with his father, had a life-changing experience, and he took over and fell in love with his aloe company, that beautiful aloe picture there. And from there, of course, they developed products and then developed more scientists and brought in more and more people to study not just aloe, but we've studied 17,000 plants. We have 17,000 plants in our plant library. And so we are finding, we're like what I call primary research. We take raw research. We're looking at a plant and we'll break it down into its component active parts. And we're using, you know, liquid and gas chromatography. We're looking at genomics. We're looking at proteomics. So we are looking for all of these things within a plant product that says, what active biologics can we find in this plant? Does it help the human DNA? Can we isolate the chemical? Can we do what we need to do to get this? Of course, you can see we test for microbial, heavy metals, organic solvents, pesticides. We're beyond, I said, we're beyond organic because we actually have the most pure products, and everything's tested from the batches of raw materials all the way to the end product, which makes us unique in the industry. And the quality assurance is so good. As a doctor, when I give any of the products to one of my patients, I know what's in it. I know it's standardized. I know it's been tested. I know its biological components are standardized. It's like, you know, doing pharmaceutical grade research and development of products with natural products. And that is great. And that's why for 15 years, this product has not changed. I mean, the actual efficacy and the what it does is so unique. It helps every single time. So I know I'm giving the same product to the same patient year after year after year. Design intelligence, Dr. Tessler talks about this. Basically, when we have a product, we don't just do a one-hit wonder. We don't just follow the trends. We set the trend. And our products are based on, you know, like you'll see a product with multiple ingredients. All of those ingredients have a specific purpose or a specific driving force behind the product to help it improve your life. So that's really great. And of course, when we say on the bottle what it does for you, usually it does twice as much. So I would say we are the company that understates the value of the product. And you can see benefits for the whole body. Each product has benefits that, you know, that go above and beyond. So it's unlike any other company. And I said that the next company you can't even see them in the rearview mirror. We are so unique. And of course, we have a multitude of product lines. So we have multiple lines of products, and you know, that's just Univera's way. So you know, you can rely. I already said all of these things on these bullet points. Efficacy, I know I can rely on them. I know you can rely on. My whole family takes them, and my whole family has taken them for 15 years. And I'm talking about my children, my wife, my dad, my mother, my spouses, my nieces and nephews, thousands of my patients, and tens of thousands downline who have had life-changing results. Ralph said it, it's life-changing results. And that's pretty exciting. The other thing.
Well, go ahead, Mike, I'm sorry.
Yeah, is that we have a 90-day money-back guarantee. You have no worry of loss. When you give these products to people, they can use them for 90 days and be guaranteed that they're gonna work, or they get their money back. And I don't even tell people about it, because by 30 days, people don't say, I don't know if it's working. They say, what else should I take? That's what I hear often. What else should I take? What else do you have for me that would work? That's exciting.
Hey, Mike, as a chiropractor, you sort of coined a phrase about a product called RegeneCare. Tell us a little bit about that and how it's worked in your practice, because I think that is important.
Oh, Alan, and it changed your life. I know it did. And you're talking about RegeneCare, RegeneFree. That is based on an ingredient that we have called protectin. And I always said, if I could develop WD-40 for the joints, something that I give my patients where it improved their joint mobility, it improved how they function. If I could find that ingredient, I would be a billionaire. And I guess you had to be a billionaire to discover the ingredient. The ingredient was already in nature, and it's called protectin. And it comes from Scutellaria and acacia catechu. It's an antioxidant that is a miraculous improvement in joint mobility and comfort. And some of my patients are in like an 11 out of 10 discomfort, and it helps them. I mean, it's remarkable. It's life-changing. And, you know, it's a gotta-have-it product.
Absolutely. Now, when you got started, Mike, you started with a product called Extra. Talk to us just for a second about it.
Yeah, so Extra is very class unique. Never seen a copied product yet, and we've been out for what, 20 years with Extra, or 18 years with Extra. And Extra is a product, it's the one that we most start with, and it is a product that helps with energy, mental clarity, stress, and joint comfort and flexibility. So we have 20 different ingredients in this product that all target different part of your physiology. The energy comes from alpha-ketoglutarate, from vitamin B3 and B6 and rhodiola. So we're getting bioenergetic compounds that drive ATP production at the cell level. So this isn't caffeine. This is not a caffeine hit that wakes you up, blasts you, and then you crash. This is a product that will actually improve, you know, your energy throughout a 4 or 5, 6 hour period. And then of course it's got the antioxidants for mental clarity, for focus. It's got a serenix and theanine for stress, and of course protectant for that joint comfort. The WD-40 for the joints is what you're asking me about. I called it WD-40 because it was like literally spraying it on people's joints and everything starts moving again. They adjust better, they hold their adjustments better. Remarkable product for any doctor who wants to help patients with discomfort.
Now, Mike, when you came in, you were a little bit concerned about could you make any money in it. So I know this is about a business prospecting virtual business invitational. So tell us a little bit what kind of numbers you knew you had to have in there in order to put some time and energy and effort into it, because you had to trade off time and energy for this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that is in a business that's worth it is easy, right? There's no lottery ticket for everybody. See that little certificate right there says I'm in the $1 Million Club. So I'm just pointing to it right there on my mantle above me. And that means that I've done really well on a very part-time basis. And at first when I got in, Al, I worked hard and talked to about 90 people right away. And I said, you know, I've got to make at least 5 figures a month, or, you know, 5 figures monthly in order to make this worth my time. And we went to that in like a couple months, and we've been there ever since. So it's definitely worth our time. Now, it's not where I'm going to ultimately be. I'd like to be in your shoes right there, but you know, it's just a matter of time and finding the right people, and we'll get there. It's exciting.
Fantastic. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you coming on. And we'll switch over to Suzanne Zeiger next. Suzanne Zeiger is a class act. When I get around, I feel almost cheap by comparison, because she's so nice, and I sometimes don't make it quite that way. I might be a little hostile on a freeway system or something, but Suzanne, you were a skeptic. Tell us a little bit about how you overcame your skepticism about coming into Univera, and actually not just selling the products, but actually becoming an associate to build a business.
Right. Well, thank you, and good evening, everyone. 13 years ago, when I'd already been a nutritionist for 23 years, I was introduced to Univera. And I will say, I thought I'd heard it all. I'd been traveling around, visiting different manufacturing plants, supplement plants, because I was always looking for that one thing that was all natural that could help my clients get more energy. And from there, they would then be able to make the changes in their diet and exercise that I needed them to do. But I hadn't been able to find it. So when I found Univera, I thought it was just another one of those. But the person who introduced me asked me to research it for him, and I did. And I was just blown away when I saw the research and the patents and how they put it all together. So I convinced my husband we should go to South Korea and actually tour the 80,000 square feet of research facility. We have another 20,000 here in Washington State where I'm at, but we went over and toured it. We toured the 250,000 square feet of manufacturing plants. I was blown away, not just with the quality of everything, but the kindness and the heart of everyone. Came home, put all my clients on the product, had tremendous success with it, regardless what was going on with them. Because that's a unique part. When you give the body a tool that it needs to repair itself, it really doesn't matter where you're at, it just goes in and assists you. I didn't know anything about this type of business at all. And so I was just randomly giving people little minis right and left and just throwing it at them, pretty much leaving it at the doorsteps. And well, that's not the way you do it, by the way. You follow the program we have. And Ben Lumley was really nice. He got hold of me, who is my upline. He says, okay, Suzanne, if you want to do it as a business, here are a few things that you need to do. So he showed me the right way to do it, and you'll be hearing more about that. And then after that, I was able to grow my business up to a diamond level, which within a short period of time, I made a lot more money than when I was working full-time in my practice. So I retired out of my practice, and I now just do Univera and loving it, loving the people.
Fantastic. Thanks, Suzanne. Appreciate you coming on tonight. And there's a skeptic that turned away and was no longer a skeptic. We have Rita Eisman up next. I'm down in the Reno Tahoe area. And Rita, yeah, man, you went out and got another degree just so you could go ahead and talk about it more efficiently and more effectively. Not all of us need to do that. I'm a PE major, so I haven't ever done that. But Rita, you got through a lot of stressful situations. I know that basically extras made a difference in your life years ago when you came in. Talk to us a little bit about what extra has done for you in your story a little bit, if you would. Thanks for coming on.
I'd love to. Thanks, Al, and good evening, everybody. Back in 2008, when the financial crisis initially had hit, is when Univera found me. We often tease that you don't find Univera, but Univera finds you. And it did. And I was actually gifted with one of those cute little white bottles. And I tease on a regular basis that I found my sense of humor in the bottom of this little white bottle. Back about 11 and a half years ago, I had a dental staff of 14. I had an associate who didn't like dentistry. And then we had everything collapse around us. And if it hadn't been for the extra and the benefits that Dr. Kaufman had just gone through about energy and mental clarity, I really don't know how I would have thought my way through, but I was able to do that. So here we are now. What is it? Almost 12 years later. And now I have it in a very large jug. But it does. It helps you with that mental clarity. It helps you with the energy. And all those years ago, I also gave it to my dad. My dad had suffered a rather extensive medical event, and it made it so that he couldn't really have a complete sentence or a complete thought, and he couldn't read. He's a statistician by nature. So when we gave him the extra as well, about 3 weeks in, my mom called me, and she was crying, actually. She's like, "Oh my gosh, your dad is back." And he had spread all their financials across the kitchen table. He had recited for her the batting averages of the 1952 Cleveland Indians championship team, as well as the names on the Arizona Memorial. So the mental clarity, the stress management, the joint comfort and flexibility, and the overall just Zen-like energy, that is a benefit that you just cannot replace. And I am forever thankful for having Univera found me.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rita. Appreciate you coming on. Great stories. What I'd like to do is bring on Ann Moreau now, and Ann's over in the Maine area. That would be on the Maine part of the country over on the, what I would call the right coast. Anyway, Ann is a tremendous teacher, a tremendous coach. She has a nursing background, and she does a lot of our training. And Ann, it's just a pleasure to have you come on tonight and talk a little bit about one of our favorite products that we have, and it's in a lot of our products. So Ann, take her away if you would.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, I love the aloe. And I'm one of those leaders who got to go to Campeche, Mexico last summer and actually work the fields. And so when you read the back of the bottle and it says 100% plant harvested, what it means is that it truly is harvested, right? So when you look at aloe, not only does it support the microbiome, it also supports, and let me just talk about the microbiome real briefly, because you're going to hear a lot more about the microbiome in the future. That is the talk of every medical practitioner today, because the microbiome is critically important to your overall health. And this particular aloe select that I'm talking about tonight has the most polysaccharide out of the market today. Polysaccharide is very important. And why is that? Because it plays a role in your supporting the garden. It's a prebiotic. And when you want good balanced bacteria in the gut, you want to have a great quality prebiotic that's going to support that garden, the growth of the good beneficial bacteria. Not only do you need to have the microbiome and the bacteria in balance, when you do that, you also help increase absorption of all the foods that you take in. So it's powerful. You know, some people call it magic. So, you know, microbiome, absorption, glucose management, it helps normalize glucose. It also helps support the immune system. How important is that? I often remind people that if you're not familiar with the term GALT, gut-associated lymphoid tissue, understand that that tissue lines the entire intestinal tract. That's 30 feet of intestine. And so that's why 70-75% of the immune system lies in the gut. And so think about this aloe product really helping repair that gut, supporting the beneficial bacteria, and also building collagen. So collagen is really key because collagen lines every organ in the body. It lines your bones, your organs, everything that you can possibly think of is where collagen is. And so you help to repair and to help support this gut. Now, I want to just share with you that I have 6 grandchildren. All 6 of my grandchildren are having gut issues with gluten and dairy. Seems to be prominent with so many people. And they all drink the aloe, and they've been drinking it since they were babies, and they love it. So, you know, understand that this aloe is so medicinal. It is not the same as any aloe you buy on the market. When you go to the health food store, you go to Walmart, you do not have the same type of aloe. This is a bioactive aloe, and it has a 400 milligram dose. So we're talking a very medicinal aloe. It's a powerful product. Thanks, Al.
You bet. Great job, Ann. I can learn so much from you. It's sort of scary. But anyway, I appreciate you coming on. And we're going to move over to someone that is top 100 in CrossFit in the world. This lady here has got energy galore. She's fun to be around. I travel with her quite a bit. We've been, she lives down in Tahoe, and we go over to Sacramento, and I'm not sure we don't laugh the whole way. It just seems like it flies by. Catherine, great friend, glad to have you on the call. Talk to us a little bit about what Univera means to you and what it's done for you.
Okay, awesome. Hi there. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here. And I love our trips too. We just have the best time. That's one of the great advantages to being with Univera, because we just love it, because we love what we're doing. We love how we do it, how it makes us feel. And, you know, I think I want to just start by saying I've been with the company for 10 years now. 10 years I've been taking these products. And I think back, it's hard to remember. How did I used to feel, right? Like I remember when it first happened, I started with these products. I was having problems running and skiing multiple days, and all kinds of things were going on. I had gained about 20 pounds. I couldn't keep the weight off. There were just so many things. And I was told, well, that's just getting old, right? You're turning 50 and oh yeah, that's just how it goes. And I did not like that answer. I wasn't excited about that. I wasn't excited about my future. If this is how I feel now, what am I going to feel like in 10 more years? So I was introduced to this product, and I have to say, I thought, well, great, of course I'll take it. That's great. But I really, truly did not think something was going to help me, because I was eating well, I was still exercising, I was doing all the things you're supposed to do, right? So I thought, oh, I'll give it to my mom. Of course, I'm going to give it to everybody else, right? They're going to need it. I probably, you know, it's probably not going to affect me. And within 1 week, I just couldn't believe it. I said, what in the world is going on? What is this stuff? I cannot imagine, you know, what is in this. Is it legal? You know, I don't even care. Just give me more. I love it. I love it. I found out, well, it's all natural. It's got all these great things. And I want everybody to know tonight, everybody who's on tonight, you know, you hear from all these great people, these doctors, and they're just professional. And here's Suzanne, she's a nutritionist, and you know, Anne Moreau, I mean, my gosh, she's a nurse, and you've got Rita Eisman, right, with the dental practice, and she's a nutritionist. Okay, that's not me. I don't know what's in it. I don't know how it works, but I'll tell you one thing I do know. it works, right? It works. It's absolutely incredible. And I started with CrossFit. I didn't weight lift, right? When I was young, we didn't weight lift when I was in high school. Girls didn't do that, right? We weren't even able to play soccer, I'll tell you what. And, but I was always athletic and such, but I never tried that. I had never done, you know, multiple things like pull-ups or gymnastics, that kind of stuff. And I started into CrossFit and I absolutely loved it. And what is so amazing about this product, about Univera 10 years later, is that I never have to think, well, now I'm getting old. Now, you know, I'm turning 59. I'll be 60 next year. I never have to worry that, well, now I'm going to have to stop. Now I won't be able to do it. As a matter of fact, my goals get bigger, 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 right? I want more. I want to learn everything I can at all times. And so, you know, this gives you unending possibilities. I'm in better shape now than I ever have been, truly, in my entire life. And I'm so grateful. And then in the meantime, Al, I was able to build a business on getting healthier than I've ever been in my life and become a diamond. Within 3 years' time, I was able to build an incredible income, which led me to being able to do this full time, which allows me to do whatever I want, to be able to train whenever I want. And it's an incredible lifestyle that I'm so grateful for. So thank you so much for having me on tonight. And I'm loving to hear everybody's stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, for coming on. It's great that you broke out of your shell. That's all I've got to say. So glad to have you on the call. Thank you so much. Kenny Rossi's up next. He's going to talk about the 4 benefits and pay close attention because Kenny is one of our top income earners in the company. He went there very fast. He basically got after it. And so, Kenny, maybe you can share the 4 benefits and why you share them. So take her away.
You got it. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for all your participation and good things that you're talking about. This is an amazing slide because it talks about what's in it for you. And this is what it's all about. For those of you that are looking at this for the first time, learning about it, maybe just joining and wondering what the heck you're doing, I'm telling you this right now. If you can get these 4 benefits down, look the heck out. The first benefit, a true healthcare plan. You've heard about it for a while now tonight. I'm just going to touch on why it matters. When you think about healthcare and you go outside of Univera, most people will think they're health insurance. And that's not healthcare, that's sick care. What we do is we give everybody you know and love a true healthcare plan with a proven product. We're going to give you 90 days to try it on your own. It's an empty bottle return policy. If you combine personal usage with education, you'll be on these products the rest of your life. That's how good they are. We are going to give you a way to take care of your health, which in today's world, which is far different than a few months ago, it is something that everybody is realizing. Wow, I hope my immune system is good. Well, you know it will be with these products. The second benefit, additional unlimited wealth. Listen, no limits on how much you can earn. We're not in competition with what you're currently doing to earn money. There are certain ways to earn money. There's the job, stands for Journey of the Broke. There's real estate equity, but you don't control it. Cash equity, yes, cash is king, but who knows? And then there's people equity. Through the simple act of sharing, for the simple act of caring, our company will send you a thank you check. There's no limits on how much this thank you check can be. Company will buy you a car outside of your pay. They send you on trips all over the world. My team, people I know and love, have made tens of millions of dollars in this company. The third benefit, home-based business tax advantage. Listen, the first way to earn money is to keep more of what you make. And having a home-based business puts you and gives you a great tax shield. It allows you to write off things that you do anyway, cell phone, internet, meals, travel, attire. Our business is helping people. Where are people? In most cases, we'll help you keep between 35% of the money you would normally give the government. And this income that you earn will be the most tax friendly. Why? Our government passed just last year something that says this: after your earnings, after your write-offs, take an additional 20% off before you pay taxes, because they know small business is what moves, is what makes our economy move, and they want to help us. And then the last advantage, freedom. Listen, I don't know what freedom means to you, but I want you to think about what it is that you really, really want. What you really want. And are you on a path to get it? Why not? You live once. Why not go after what it is you really want, where you want to live, what you want to drive, who you want to help, where you want to spend your time? And if you really start to think about that and internalize it, you must align yourself with something that's limitless. And that's what Univera is. And if you were giving this presentation to the next individual, what you'd say now is this: of those 4 benefits, what interests you the most? Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate you coming on, and understand that if you want a guy that's loyal and that works hard, it's Kenny Rossi, no doubt about it. Our next speaker is David Rayner. David basically is an actor. He's a director. He's got residual monies coming in from all sorts of sources, but he chose Univera, and he chose it for a reason, because he wanted to have that income effect. So David, take her away and talk about why we have some advantages over maybe some other people that are in the same industry.
Well, I mean, first of all, you're hearing about all the advantages, and I want to thank you, Al, for that intro. And I want to welcome everybody, because you're coming towards decision time. I mean, Univera is an incredible company. To me, think about it. We're in the virtual business space, and we're virtually an unknown company when you look at how many people in America know about us at this point in time. We're just beginning, and we have actually the ability to get in front of the curve. So what if you could find Apple before Apple? What would happen if you invested in Apple stock before Apple? Would you have been interested in that? That is why Univera is incredible. We have a lot of financial advantages, but I want to talk about money for a second. And the question I have for you, and you could put it in the chat box, or you could just think about it. How many of you want to make more money? I know that we've been talking about this incredible science, and because we have the incredible science, because we have this incredible owner, because we have resources like most of the aloe supply in the world, we are poised to be an incredible financial vehicle. So I want to invite you to make a decision to join us. We need you, and we want you to join us. It's an incredible possibility. One of the things that we've done to help you build this business is so think about it like this. All the money you have in your life right now, everything you've created up until this moment, is based on what you've done up until this moment. If you want to create more wealth, you're going to have to do something different. You have to change. You have to have a vehicle. You know, when I was growing up, you know, my family, we didn't have money. My mother was incredible, and she was raising 3 boys as a single mom. And I never had a person come up to me and say, I want to help you become wealthy, David. I want you to learn the mindset of a wealthy person. What if we could change that conversation? You know, I was talking to my mother, and she says, you know, it took her whole life. She did service. She did helping other people for most of her career in the nonprofit world. And no one ever helped my mother get wealthy. And the first organization, the first vehicle that came along to create wealth for my family, outside of just working and trying to figure it out on our own, was Univera. And I want to invite you to that opportunity to get mentorship and create wealth. 96% of people in this world do not have enough money. And I know we talk about purpose. We talk about all the health. That's going to happen if you get involved in this company. But I want you to know that most people already know what they'd like to do to make a difference. They just don't have the resources to do it. So when you think about making a decision to join us, you know, I want you to join us. We need you. We need to make this a household name in the world. But what you're buying into is the support that you're going to get from people that have made millions, people that have gotten to the top 1% in their field, in Univera, in other areas. And we're going to mentor you to create the wealth and then, of course, the purpose that you want to create. So think about income that is abundant and impact, because that's what we're offering. And one of the things we've done to create that impact and income is a system. We have an online onboarding system, a website that allows you to show people what we have, and you don't have to know the information. You just have to know how to support people into taking a look at becoming your business partner. And the person that invited you to this presentation, I want you to know that they know all about it. Let them know, and we will show you our system. We will help you get started, and then you can help build your own wealth. So remember, make a decision. Napoleon Hill said, people that are successful and make the most money, they look at something, they make a decision quickly, and they stick to it. And then the people that don't do so well in life, they take a long time to make a decision, and they keep changing their mind. So I want to invite you to join us, become a part of this team, help us get in front of this, get this out to the world, change the world, create health and wealth, impact and income. Thank you, Al.
Thank you, David. Great job. We're going to move up to the Portland area here and have Brian Boyanowski come along. Brian and his family have been involved in this company for about the same length as I have. He's had tremendous success. He had an unbelievable product experience with his young son at right after he became aware of Univera. And Brian, take her away, because you are a self-anointed geek, okay? You still make a lot of money, which I certainly respect. So take her away if you would.
Yes, I'm a computer geek. The whole IT realm, I didn't think I needed anything, but this did start a little over 17 years ago. And it started in your living room, actually, Al. And I didn't think I needed anything at all, but it was my son, Brandon. So I really looked into Univera. My father was a pharmacist. My mother was a nurse. They said, you need to take a look at these products. And I did my due diligence and put Brandon on several Univera products. Fast forward, he'll be 17 years old now. He's an absolute perfect boy. So I was so convinced the products worked. If it worked on an 18-month-old and changed my family's life forever, I realized at that point that there were people that were praying for an answer to something, whether that's praying for the health of a child, whether that's praying for a little bit of extra income to make the mortgage payment or bring a spouse home. People are praying for an answer. And I realized Univera was that vehicle. I was at a presentation like you're hearing tonight. It just was in person. And I realized, wow, here's a community of people that I could lock my arms with and that we could move forward to achieve that ultimate freedom. And that's what I wanted. And so we aggressively got after it and started, bringing people along and sharing this amazing story and with a focus on business. And we did that, and we were able to create a significant residual income in a fairly short amount of time. And it allowed me to be the dad at the pumpkin patch with all the moms. It allowed me to do the things with family because family was so important. It allowed me last year on my 20th anniversary for our diamond trip, we were able to, my wife and I, we went to Europe and we spent 3.5 weeks in Europe. And we traveled all around and we did Europe like none other. Paris and Barcelona and London and Monte Carlo and Venice, driving the countryside in Italy. It was incredible. And it was Univera, and it was the freedom and the income component and that team that allowed us to create that and allowed us the freedom to do the things that we wanted to do on our schedule. So thank you, Al.
Well, thanks, Brian. Appreciate you coming on. Great story. By the way, I was envious about your trip. I didn't want to tell Jan because she started thinking about how to book it. Anyway, we're going to slide over to Ann Newfer up in Seattle. And Ann is absolutely one of our top leaders. She's been there. She's like a rock. She's so solid. She's a great lady, a lot of fun to be around. And share a little bit, if you would, your story.
Yeah, thanks, Sal. Univera really is my home. I've been here about 16 years. Crossed my path just, and I always say thin thread. Back in 2004, I walked in my kitchen and found a pile of stuff sitting on the counter that my husband had cleaned out from the trunk of his car. And in there was a little bottle. Actually, there's a little pile of these bottles, probably 6 or 8 of them, of the Univera Extra. And, I'd had some health issues, ended up having my thyroid completely removed and was struggling with energy. And so my antenna was up. I said, what the heck is this? right here, more vital energy is the first benefit. And so I said, well, how much caffeine are they putting in here? Well, as you heard tonight, the products are extraordinary. There's nothing bad in them. There's no caffeine. I started doing my research, got on it right away. I felt happier. I felt smarter. I felt motivated. My energy came back. And I said, I never want to be without this product. However, I think there's a market for this. If it works this well for me, it's going to work well for thousands of other people. And that's what made me want to take a look at this as a business opportunity. I was selling real estate. My husband was in the mortgage industry. And, we just knew we needed to diversify and have multiple additional streams of income because, there's no predicting what the mortgage industry or the real estate market's going to do. Your income could, completely drop off in a very quick, short amount of time. So was very close to opening a restaurant, was really had contracts and everything. And I said, I just don't want to do that. Let's take a look at this Univera business. And, met Al, met the team of people, learned more about the science, and just was, pretty enthralled with the whole package. I always say I could not poke holes in it. Every piece was there, from the compensation plan to the method of operation. And so we went ahead and, said, okay, let's do this. And we talked about 55 people right away out of the gate in probably the first 90 days. And 30 of those people joined us. 20 of them said, hey, we want to do this as a business with you. 6 of them actually built it to the level of gold or above. And we were at that diamond level in 8 months. So, we were pinching ourselves going, wow, that was a great way, it still is a great way to build a long-term residual business. People stay on these products. They reorder month after month. It's a consumable, so they work for people. The value is there. Every dime they spend on products is a benefit to their body, and the value is phenomenal. So, what a business opportunity. When you never know what's going to happen in your life. And for me, unexpectedly, my husband passed away. And it was about 2.5 years later, back in 2007. So at that point, my kids were 10 and 12, and I was able to really transition to being a full-time mom and be a part-time Univera associate. Never had to go back to selling real estate or do anything else. Univera has been my sole source of income all those years. And still is. And my kids are now like 24 and 26. So, Univera is going strong. We want to grow this. We're looking for people who want to do it with us, and team members that want to join us and be a part of this. It truly is a culture, and, every component, the health, the wealth, and the purpose. So we're excited about it.
Thank you, Ann, and thank you for your leadership always. Our last speaker, and a very awesome speaker she is, and that's Jordan Monroe. Jordan, I can remember when you came in and you said, stop talking about the big money. Just show me how to make $1,000. And so what a mouse, we got that done, and now she's one of our top income producing people and associates, and she's great at running a virtual business. And a lot of us have been reduced to doing a lot more of that than we ever thought we would do, but you've been a leader all the way in terms of how to do it. So wrap her up if you would, Jordan.
Thanks, Al. Well, I love that you start with that story, because truly anyone that's here or anyone that's evaluating this as a business, you are going to create your own story here. So evaluating where you're at is going to help you make the decision to decide where you want to be, and join us so we can link arms and help you get there. Where I was at 26 years old, like I put in the comments before we started, was survival mode. I was working a 9-to-5 with a job that I was really not well suited for. I'm a dyslexic English philosophy major, and I was working accounting and bookkeeping, and it just wasn't a great fit for me. I knew at that point I wanted to make a change, and I knew at that point I wanted to do something that was of service and that had significance. At the same time, I wanted to take that service and significance and turn it into abundant well-being in every avenue of my life, including financially. That was my pressure point at the time. So making $1,000 a month cut the umbilical cord, so to speak. My parents, Glenn and Regan, who are my sponsors, said, hey, no more family bank account. However, we will build this business with you and help you succeed. And that is what we did. Within the first month, Al, I was able to not only pay them back for helping me with the initial investment, but I had an extra $1,000 in my bank account, which helped me, you know, live life to the fullest. That was groundbreaking. At the same time, when your vision is met, it starts to expand. And so the vision that I was able to create was so much bigger every single month, to the extent that at 6 months, I was able to be full-time Univera. And from there, at the year mark, I was able to be a diamond, the youngest diamond in the company. And that was truly just the beginning. The freedom, the financial freedom that I experienced allowed me to pursue multiple avenues. So Univera truly did become a vehicle for creating even more abundance and more completion in my life, which is truly incredible. And that's truly what we offer for each and every person here, to join us for your reason, your why, your purpose, and allow us to help you achieve it and then expand it into even something greater. The thing to take away is that there's not another natural products company on earth that has the science and the significance that we have here in Univera because of our owner, Bill Lee. With that being said, there's not another company with a compensation plan that is as balanced and as lucrative as we have here in Univera. And lastly, to me, there's not another community, a community of leaders, of extraordinary people that are attracted to a mission and movement to transform the world in two areas that are extraordinarily important right now. Number one, in health. When we look at our health, prevention is everything. May we be blessed never to know the diseases that we are preventing. Taking advantage of everything, all of the science that we have, and giving your opportunity, your body, the opportunity to do what it is designed to do, which is heal itself and therefore thrive, is everything right now. The other area that we're focused on is creating what my mom calls conscious capitalists. For every dollar we earn, we've transformed someone's life, either physically, financially, and even philanthropically. So when you decide to join us, which we hope you do, we hope, like David said, that it is a swift decision to come in and be a part of our company and our community. We know that we are going to transform the world in so many areas, but those are our leading two. So with that, Al, thank you for your leadership, your mentorship, and I cannot wait to see how big we make Univera.
Well, thank you, Jordan. And I'd like to thank all the speakers that we had on tonight. Most of all, I'd like to thank the people that came on here and watched our program tonight. Make a decision. You'll never regret it. This is something that is, it's bigger in life. I tell people all the time that this is the single most important day of your life if you haven't joined Univera, because tonight, whoever invited you here can help you become a Univera associate and take it to the world. God bless. Have a great night. Thanks for being on.